Let's be honest for a second. We've all tried to build better habits before, whether it's waking up early, exercising regularly, studying consistently, or finally putting our phones down before bed. And we've all fallen off at some point. You start strong, the motivation is sky high, you plan everything out, maybe even buy a new notebook or a fancy app. But a few days later, you skip once, then twice, and before you know it, the habit's gone and you're back to square one, feeling frustrated and wondering, why can't I just stay consistent? Well, it turns out it's not about willpower, it's about science. Because habits aren't random. They're built by very predictable patterns inside your brain. And when you understand those patterns, you can use them to your advantage to build habits that actually stick. So today we're diving into the science of habit formation, how habits are created, why they're so hard to change, and most importantly, how you can apply that knowledge to change your life one small routine at a time. Grab a drink, settle in, because we're going deep. Now, what exactly is a habit? A habit is basically a behavior your brain has automated. It's something you've done so many times that your brain goes, cool, I know this one, I'll handle it. Like brushing your teeth, checking your phone first thing in the morning, or locking the door when you leave the house. At first, you had to think about those things, but now they happen on autopilot. And that's not laziness, it's efficiency. Your brain forms habits so it can save energy for other things. Think about driving a car. When you first learned, it took all your focus, mirrors, pedals, traffic, signals. But now, you can drive and hold a conversation or think about dinner plans. That's your brain optimizing through habit. Now, in the 1990s, scientists studying behavior at MIT discovered that every habit follows the same loop. Cue, routine, reward. Let's break that down. The cue is the trigger. It tells your brain, hey, time to do this thing. It could be a time of a day, a place, an emotion, or even another action. The routine is the actual behavior you perform, and the reward is what your brain gets from it. The satisfaction, relief, or pleasure that tells your brain, hey, remember this, do it again. Here's a simple example. You're bored. That's the cue. You open your phone and scroll social media. That's the routine. You see something entertaining. That's the reward. Your brain connects those 3 steps and locks them in. Next time you're bored, boom, habit kicks in automatically. Now, inside your brain, there's a structure called the basal ganglia, the part responsible for memory, emotions, and pattern recognition. That's where habits live. When you repeat a behavior, your brain strengthens the neural pathway that represents it. It's like craving a trail in the forest, and the more times you walk it, the clearer and easier it becomes to follow. Eventually, your brain doesn't need conscious effort to start the habit. It's automatic. That's why habits are so powerful and why breaking bad ones feels impossible sometimes. The good news, the brain doesn't care whether a habit is good or bad. It just follows what's been repeated. So if you can create a bad habit, you can also rewire it into a good one. Now let's talk about the practical part, how to actually create habits that last. Step 1, make it obvious. Your brain needs a clear cue to start the habit. Let's say you want to drink more water. Don't rely on memory. Keep a bottle right on your desk where you see it. Want to work out? Put your workout clothes somewhere visible. The easier it is to see the cue, the harder it gets to ignore it. Step 2, make it attractive. Your brain craves rewards. If a habit feels painful, you'll quit. So pair the new habit with something you enjoy. Listen to your favorite podcast only when you go for a walk, or treat yourself to a great coffee after finishing a study session. Over time, your brain starts linking that positive feeling with the habit itself. Step 3, make it easy. Most people overcomplicate this. They try to overhaul everything overnight. Wake up at 5 a.m., meditate, run, journal, eat clean, all at once, and that never lasts. Instead, start small. If you want to read more, just read 1 page. If you want to start working out, do 10 push-ups. The point is to start building consistency and not perfection. And step 4, make it satisfying. Give your brain a reason to repeat it. Check off a habit tracker, write it in your journal, celebrate the tiny win. That little hit of satisfaction reinforces the loop. Cue, routine, reward. That's how habits stick. Now here's something most people underestimate. Habits compound over time. Doing something small every day doesn't feel like much in the moment, but it's like interest in a bank account. It grows quietly. If you improve by just 1% every day, you'll be 37 times better in a year. That's the math of consistency. Big success rarely comes from massive action. It comes from small habits repeated consistently. Reading 10 pages a day becomes a book a month. Saving a little money becomes a safety net. 10 minutes of exercise becomes a lifestyle. Tiny wins add up, always. Now, what about the flip side? How do you get rid of bad habits that seem glued to your life? The answer? You don't erase them, you replace them. Remember that habit loop? Cue, routine, reward? You can't usually delete the cue or the reward, but you can change the routine in the middle. For example, if your cue is stress and your routine is eating junk food, replace it with a healthier routine that still gives comfort, like stretching, journaling, or going for a short walk. And if the bad habit is triggered by environment, change the environment. Move the phone out of reach when you work, delete the apps that trigger endless scrolling, don't rely on willpower, and design your surroundings to make good choices easy and bad ones harder. Willpower fades, systems don't. Now here's the real secret most people miss. The strongest habits come from who you believe you are and not what you're trying to do. If your goal is to read more, that's an action. But if you start seeing yourself as a reader, that's an identity. If your behavior naturally aligns with that belief. Instead of forcing yourself to work out, become the kind of person who doesn't miss workouts. Instead of trying to be organized, become someone who values clarity and order. When your habits are tied to your identity, they become part of you. You're not fighting against yourself anymore, you're reinforcing who you are. Alright, let's make this practical. Pick one area of your life you want to improve, just one. Maybe it's health, focus, or creativity. Now choose a tiny simple habit that moves you forward. Write for 5 minutes, drink a glass of water, do one Pomodoro session. Make it obvious, make it easy, make it satisfying. Track it daily for a week. You'll notice that the hardest part is just starting, but once the loop forms, it becomes effortless. Remember, consistency beats intensity every single time. A small habit done easily will outperform a massive plan done once in a while. The science of habit formation isn't about hacks or quick fixes. It's about understanding how your brain works and working with it, not against it. If you can master your habits, you can master your life. Because everything, your health, your happiness, your success, comes down to the little things you do every single day. So start small, start today. Your future self is already thanking you for it. And if this video inspired you, go ahead and hit the like button, share it with someone who's trying to build better habits, and subscribe for more deep, practical guides just like this. Because remember, habits don't just shape your routine, they shape you. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.